How's it going, everyone? Wayne the Unknown here, and welcome back to another episode of Cosplay Con Talk, where we basically discuss everything pertaining to the cosplay community and conventions. I'm joined here by Jason Kelsey, also known as, what was it, Jaybird's Flock?
Yes.
In another episode for Get to Know That Cosplayer. Sorry about that, everyone. So, again, I'm joined here by Jason Kelsey, also part of Jaybird's Flock. I just want to confirm that again
Uh,
one more time.
yes, Jaybird's Flock.
Jaybird's Flock. In a segment for Get to Know That Cosplayer. For anyone who's familiar with Get to Know That Cosplayer, I basically will be talking to cosplayers, learning how they got into cosplay, the cosplays they've done, and advice experience of the conventions they attended. So, to begin, how long have you been cosplaying for, Jason?
Actually, I was looking through this with some friends the other day. Longer than I thought. 2007 was my very first con up in Sakura Con.
2022. So you've been cosplaying for a total of 15 years. So you're in the category,
Yeah,
as I would put it, cosplay veteran.
yeah, yeah,
That's a long time. So you've definitely seen the change of
yeah,
conventions over the years. And you said your first con was SoccerCon in Washington?
yeah. Seattle. Yeah.
Oh, that is crazy. Forgive me if I'm looking at my phone. I am making a list of the cosplays that we will be discussing
Oh
throughout
no, you're
this
good.
interview. So, what was your very first cosplay for a SoccerCon all those 15 years ago?
Well, I had no idea what a convention was, honestly. I was looking up like Sakura from Naruto, and it popped up as a link, and I thought it was like a Naruto website, and I clicked on it, and it was like convention, Seattle, Washington. It gave the dates, Easter weekend. I was like, oh my gosh. And I had my aunt take me, and I had no idea what I was getting into. I had like a idea that there was costumes of some sort. So I threw together in like the span of a week a cardboard mask and wings and claws, and I was the red eyes black dragon, but I had like a black tank top and blue jeans on. So I had no idea what I was doing.
Hey, the fact that you were able to make your own make your own cosplay for a con out of just cardboard, hey, that in my book that counts.
Yeah, I mean, it was impressive, honestly, when I think back on it, especially for not knowing what, because it's just like I have scotch tape and scotch tape, a Sharpie, and cardboard. I'm gonna do this.
Hey, again, low budget cosplays in my book count.
And yeah, I do them all the time. I mean, I
Yeah.
personally, I don't look like I've been cosplaying for 15 years, but I do a lot of low budget stuff. So
Hey, and there's, as I always say, there is nothing wrong with that. So, talking about SoccerCon, what was that like?
it was
Going
really
to a decent anime convention in Washington.
It was really fun. SakuraCon's actually one of my favorite to go to. It was a blast. Like it was mind blowing. My first year, I was like, wow, there's so many. Of course, there was a bunch of Naruto people because
At the
that was the
time.
thing at the time. That was like the cosplay. It was that and a lot of Bleach.
Sounds about right for mid 2000s.
Yeah,
Naruto was getting popular. Bleach had just, come out like a year or two prior.
yeah. Full Metal was also full swing. Um, so we had a lot of that stuff too, and I was like, it was just whoa. Um, but it was really fun, and I made a habit of going every year. um I had no idea you could pre-register until like my third year going, but
Hey,
so those long lines were,
you learn, and sometimes, if for those who are watching, if you get the chance to pre-register for a con, I highly recommend it. Other than that, you were waiting a long time.
forever. You will waste an entire day standing in line if you do not pre-register. Highly recommend it. My group actually, for 15 years of it, you would think I would know better. We pre-registered, but we did not show up day zero, and we wasted our entire Friday, with KomoriCon, with all the
Oh
the health checks and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I heard.
It was
Yeah,
all right. I mean,
I,
given
I,
the circumstances.
yeah. I heard mixed things, but I heard though. you know, I
Hmm.
I, I heard Kimura Con's definitely a fun con, but no, it just in general, um, wait in line, especially the cons that do J0.
Hmm.
Sorry, nothing is scripted on the show, by the way. So, and I do allow one F word. Any if you say any other F words, you will get bleeped. Hey,
That's fine.
this is a PG-13. Well, this is a PG. This segment is a PG-13 one. So
Got it.
when it comes to someone wanting to go to their first con, what advice would you like to give for someone who wants to go to their first con, whether it be a small local con or a big con like Kumo or them spancy ones?
Well, actually, my partners and I just went to our very first big fancy one in Ohio. We went to Colossal Con. Um, and what I highly recommend what I did
Ooh.
for them because it was technically like their first big con. I've been to like Anime Expo and stuff like that, so it wasn't my first big one.
I've heard
Yeah.
stories about Anime Expo.
Yeah. But what I did for them to help the transition was I looked up YouTube videos. So I looked up the cosplay CMVs or vlogs or anything and everything we could find on the convention. Like if you are thinking about going to SakuraCon, for example, look up SakuraCon of the previous year and you'll get a good idea of what you're getting yourself into for that con.
Ooh.
We realized that Colossal Con was a water park, and we were like, okay, let's get our,
Oh,
you
that's
know,
right. Because I've seen videos of people in
mm-hmm.
in in beach themed bikinis and whatnot at the pool. I've seen videos of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and I mean the music or the cosplay videos they kind of blow it out of proportion just a little bit, but it was still really huge con, big like party con. Um I also recommend joining like Facebook groups or anything like that because I joined the group and the I was part of the ride share and I was part of this and that, which really helped because we ended up needing rides and you go all the way to Ohio, you don't know anybody, and you're like, ha, I didn't know you guys don't have Uber here. They don't have Uber in Sandusky, by the way. It was not fun arriving at 4 in the morning and like no way to get anywhere. But thanks to the ride share on Facebook, we were able to get a ride and thankfully that person was our ride like most of the con weekend.
Well, that's good. It sounded like now was that well, this video won't come out until 2023, but was that for the 2022 year?
Yeah, that was this year. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. 2022. Sorry. Yes. We were thinking about going 2023, but it depends. I think we missed our pre-registration deadline.
When's the one for the 2023 season?
It's always in June. It might still be up. I haven't looked,
I was gonna
but
say, that's pretty fast for the pre-reg because usually they have it like you can at least pre-reg up to like, a month prior, a month or two prior.
yeah. I don't know if this was one of the ones where it can sell out or not.
I mean, Colossal Colossus
We
Con,
booked quite a ways in advance before. But
smart
yeah, I'd
idea.
have to look into it.
So, another question I always ask for conventions, would you recommend if you're going, especially if you're going to your first con, you don't want to go alone, as I put it, would you recommend on bringing a convention exit buddy with you? Basically, someone to go with, someone to have with you at the cons. Even if they're not into it, it's nice to have that person so you can say, "Hey, I'm like, anxiety, this or that," and just like go to a quiet area or leave for a bit.
Yeah, I mean that all depends on your personal preference. I can go to cons by myself. I do get a little anxious sometimes, especially with meeting new people. Um, but the convention environment itself is usually so nice that even if you don't end up going with somebody, somebody is bound to run into you and be like, blah, let's be friends. And they see that you're having a hard time or you express you're having a hard time and they will help you out. But if you do have friends that are interested, I do recommend taking them. It always makes it funner, to have friends.
I can't argue with that. That's pretty good. So what other advice would you want to give for first time convention goers? It's a question I rarely
Um,
ask on here.
don't stress so much over cosplay for your first time. Um, KomoriCon last year, 2021, was my partner's first like official anime convention. And both of them were like very, very, very new to the cosplay thing. And it
They
was a
were
little bit of a
babies.
stressor because you were like, oh no, what do we do? Yeah. And I was like, oh, I've been doing this for like 14 years. Ha. um, but you know, they were stressing about it a little, and I was like, hey, don't worry about it. Look, you can go to Goodwill and get casual stuff. Get yourself a wig for this character or that character. You want to be, you know, Deku. Find yourself a Deku wig. Go as casual. Nobody's going to care. Everybody is just going to like the fact that you even showed up, you know? Um, you don't have money for a wig? Wear an anime merch shirt. So many people nowadays,
I
so many people don't
mean,
cosplay. Yeah, I'm not, I'm wearing My Little Pony, but you know, anything, you know, it doesn't matter. Comic books, Western cartoons, anime, wear whatever you want. Just go, have fun. Don't stress the small stuff. You have time to grow into the convention life. You don't have to be that perfect cosplayer year one.
no.
I'm I'm going on 15 years. I'm not the perfect
Well, I mean,
cosplayer.
technically, when this comes out, it'll be 16 years.
Well, 16 years. There we go. That's another year to add on, you know?
Well, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with not cosplaying right away, especially if like
Yeah.
it's your first con. I mean, hell, my first con, I didn't cosplay. I just got to finally experience the convention scene in 2017. But I've known about cons since 2009.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't wear my first like official cosplay. Like I, as much as I applaud myself on it, I don't count the red eyes. Because like, you know, the black t-shirt had a white heart on it. It looked nothing like it. You
Mm.
know, I had one person know who I was, and I would always remember her. She was Edward Elric's mom. She came up to me and she was like, "Are you the red eyes?" And I was like, "Yes, thank you for noticing." Um,
Ah.
but I didn't wear my first official cosplay until like 2010 or 2011. So it's not a big deal. You go to have fun.
Oh no, I completely agree. So before we talk about your cosplays and everything, kind of on the cosplay topic, um, since we kind of talk about cosplay on a budget, kind of, um, would you recommend for someone who is new to cosplay or someone who does not have enough money, would you recommend thrifting for your cosplays?
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Actually, we weren't even thrifting for cosplay. We were just looking in the Halloween section, and both of my partners found Akatsuki uniforms for themselves.
Ah,
You know, brand new in their
and the best
sizes.
thing is you don't have to go full on a costume, you can just wear the robes.
You just wear the robe. And I was like, yeah, they looked at me and they're like, should I get it? I was like, yes. They're like, when are we going to do Naruto? I was like, doesn't matter. Get it. You will
I
have
do
it.
it. Just
You
do it.
just do it. I was like, you will have it in your closet. Trust me, you can never have enough cosplay in your closet because
Oh
the time will
no.
come, you know, when you need it.
I'm sure your cosplay, I mean, your closet is full of potential cosplays.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can pull out jeans and a t-shirt and I can like, oh, here you go. Here's a character that I can be. And I've got a lot of my cosplay is closet cosplay, what you would consider closet cosplay or Goodwill cosplay. I will go and I'll be like, okay, um, let's say like Kyo from Fruits Basket. He wears a purple or blue, depending on your preference, button-up shirt and the matching pants. Go to Goodwill, you find those two items, you get yourself an orange wig and a white tie. Everybody is going to know who you are, you
That's
know, and
that's
there you go.
that's honestly to me that's fair,
Hmm.
Ugh, my closet is full of nothing but on one end is full of nothing but suits I usually wear for, and there's nothing wrong with doing a casual version of a character, you
Oh
get
yeah,
the
no,
you get the right wig or you find one close enough, style it the best you can, and there you go. Casual Deku.
yeah, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with buying your cosplay. You don't have to make it if you don't have the sewing skills. I do all the sewing between the three of us. Um, but then one of my other partners will do all of the painting, and then the other one will make the uh, what are they called? Accessories, props, and stuff like that. You
Oh, so
know?
you're basically a cosplay building team,
Yeah, essentially, we
which
we just help each other out.
we will get into, by the way. I guess now, what is it like being a cosplay building team with your two other partners?
It's very nice. It's very helpful. I used to be when I was friends with a couple of other people, they had their skills, but it was nothing like this where we bounced off each other. I would make a costume, and then my girlfriend will sit there and she'll paint the designs on them, and then our boyfriend will sit there and be like, what needs to be done? Bam, he'll do it, and then he'll be like, here, this is done, you need to paint it. And then so she'll grab that and she'll paint it, and then I'll be like, okay, this needs hemmed, I'll hem it. And it's just boom, 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 we get done so soon. Before con, I always feel like I'm forgetting something.
Hey, I mean, it's nice to have, two supporting partners to help you with your cosplays, and you help them with, they
Yeah.
can't do they one can't do this, you can do it. You can't do it, the other person,
Yeah.
you
And,
know?
even just friends, if you have friends that can do that kind of stuff, that is amazing. Get yourself like a little cosplay party going on. You will get so much done. It is so much less stressful, especially if you can find everybody's elements. This friend is good at painting. This friend is good at sewing. This friend is good at making it. Even just a friend like me, I make checklists. I make checklists for my checklists. You
Hmm.
know,
So
it,
you've
it's
so have you sorry.
no, you're good.
So have you done commissions before then for other people?
Yes and no. I try not to because it's already such a handful. We try and do new cosplays for every con. So making three for myself and three for one partner, three for the other partner, three for our son. It gets to be just a little bit much. But
I
I have done some commissions, yes.
I do believe it. So you said you sew, right?
Yes, I do.
So advice for those who actually, because that's a question I haven't asked, and oh God, that's a few interviews behind on that one. Um, so advice for someone who wants to sew a cosplay, like they want to make their own cosplay by hand. Advice for that.
hmm Um, the pattern does not have to match exact. It is not very hard to modify a pattern. I don't really know how to read patterns myself. I just kind of flick it open. I cut out the pieces it tells me, and it's usually pretty simple to be like, oh, this piece connects to this piece. Okay. And then you just look at it. You can put it all together and be like, what needs to be added to this so that it becomes this character? Oh, we need to add this. Okay, well, is it something you can do like yourself, or do you need a pattern? Find the closest looking pattern and modify it. There are so many. That's what most of mine that are made from home. I just find the closest looking pattern. Patterns are your friends.
Oh, I believe it. So now on to my favorite questions. Cosplays, certain cosplays you've done. So the one I always ask is, what's that one cosplay you have not done in so long that you would like to bring back?
Ooh. Um, that's a tough one actually, because I don't usually do repeats. I mean, I do sometimes. Like if I
Oh,
don't have,
oh,
money for a costume or something, I'll do a repeat. Um, because I like to build my closet.
oh no,
But
that
if
makes
I
sense.
if I had to pick one, honestly, I think I would go with Bakura
Who?
from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, wait, who again?
Bakura.
Kerr. I'm gonna look him up because I am not familiar with you. The original. Are
He's
we
he's
talking?
he's one of the main, like, I
I'm
guess you
I'm
could
I'm I'm
call
look
him an
I'm
antagonist.
I'm looking it up right now. Because if I know who he is, he's the one who I think it is. Yep, he's the one with the white hair.
Yep.
An example, and he's also an example of a casual cosplay. Because you either get a light blue button-up shirt in the jeans or the blue and white striped shirt.
Yeah, I
Man,
did the blue and white stripe, which was a pain to find.
oh, I
I
mean,
technically didn't thrift for that. I went on, like, an online
oh
Walmart or
no,
something like that.
I believe it. I mean, if you weren't able to find, I'm sure you probably just would have got a plain white shirt and just put the design on it.
Exactly. But the main reason I think I would want to redo him is because that was pre-transitioning me. So I had not gone through surgery, my top surgery yet. And I feel like I could pull that cosplay off a lot better, which, by the way, doesn't matter if you have chest or not. It's just a personal preference for me.
We are inclusive here. We do
I
not judge. This is a diverse, as I've always said,
hmm
this is a diverse and inclusive channel. There is no
Yep.
judgment here. There is no judgment here. I will not tolerate bullying, gatekeeping, or politics. So,
Yeah,
um,
there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with you being a female as a male character, a male as a female character. It's just personal preference for me that if I'm being a male, I want a flatter chest.
hey, there's something, and there's also, as I call it, you know, you're more than welcome to crossplay, is what I call it.
Yeah, exactly. My boyfriend is trans as well, and he's not totally comfortable being female. It's a little dysphoric for him, but I told him, I said, you can be a male. Like, for example, we were the Powerpuff Girls. I said,
I saw your picture of that.
I said, you can be a male Buttercup. Nobody's gonna care.
I mean, there is that
They're
episode.
gonna
There is that
think,
episode where those crooks wear the Powerpuff Girl,
yeah, exactly. I was
costumes,
like, we could do that. But I
or as
said,
I call it,
nobody's gonna care.
the Power Buff girls.
Yeah, yeah. But nobody cares. Nobody does. And if they do, they don't matter. You
Egg.
don't pay any mind to anybody who is like, you have a chest and you're being a boy, or you're a boy and you're wearing a skirt. No, no, no. We don't do that. In the cosplay community, we don't do that. We don't base off gender, size, nothing.
No, we don't know. Which actually brings me to a question for cosplayers who female cosplayers who are transitioning. Advice for like if they wanted if they're like wanted to hide their chest. Advice for like types of binders or stuff like that.
I bought all my binders, which were really nice. Shoot, the website was G2B.
I've heard of that one.
Okay, yes, I can't off the top of my head, I cannot remember it, but it is an amazing place. They are very inclusive on a lot of different body tones. They even do like red, green, and blue binders. They are the safest, or one of the safest. A lot better than Ace. I've heard a lot of bad things about binding with Ace bandages. Don't do it. If
Mm-mm.
you can
That,
save up
that
the money, I highly recommend getting a binder. They are super helpful with like if you're between sizes. Like me, I was rather large and I was between sizes, and they were like, do this or this. Actually, it does not matter for you. You're close enough, um, that it would not matter. It's personal preference. And then they were
nice.
even nice enough to say, if the one that you pick doesn't work, tell them my name and we'll do a free switch.
Nice.
And I was like,
Cause
oh, that's actually really nice because this is my first binder ever.
nice.
And they were like, no, it's good.
I mean, over the years, I've seen my fair share of female cosplayers wanted to cosplay bare-chested men, so
hmm
they'll buy those fake rubber chests. Or I've seen my fair share of male cosplayers where they'll buy the fake boobs,
hmm
which
So I've run into that problem myself because now that I have no chest, and it's weird. It's gonna sound really weird because I'm male. I transitioned to male, but I prefer to cosplay females. And I was trying to be Lucy this last KomoriCon, and I was going to order some, but I never got some in
wait,
time. And I
Lucy
just
from Fairy Tale.
remember thinking to myself, I was like, I went through all the trouble to get rid of these, and now I'm getting more.
Wait, Lucy from Fairy Tale.
Yes,
Okay, nice. Well,
we
which version of her?
technically it was a made up version. We based it off of her 7 year skip outfit.
Okay, so Lucy made up 7 year skip.
Yeah, it was I'm not really sure what you would call it, but our Natsu did the same thing, and our Urzo was just armor. He was just really excited to get armor and wanted an excuse to wear it. So I was like, hey, fairy tale.
Why not? But
Yeah.
imagine when you're wanting to cosplay female characters, you want people to let me know that you are cosplaying a female.
Yeah, and I mean, normally I don't mind. Normally I don't care. Because okay, fine. If I'm a female and I'm flat chested, not a big deal. I was that way with Blossom. I was Blossom and I was flat chested. I did not care. But the corset that I was wearing for Lucy kind of popped out. And I was like, oh, well, it's very clear that I don't have anything here, you know. So it became a little bit of a hassle. And in that sense, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe figure something out, to fix the cosplay. Either be that how we did, we just tightened the top really tight so that it pressed more against me, or fill some nylon stockings with rice. It works.
It works. It's cheap, but
Whatever you can.
it's cheap, but it works.
My boyfriend has not gone through. He's close. This January, well, but probably by the time the video comes out, he'll be getting his consultation for surgery. So yay!
Congratulations, by the way, to them.
Thank you. But for right now, he has nothing. So when he wants to actually be, bare chested, he was gray when we went from Fairy Tale when we went to Colossal Con, and he had to do the tape effect. And it works. You do what you can with what you got.
Oh yeah, no.
And
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Nice. Looking forward to seeing his future cosplays.
I am too. He's excited as well.
Nice. So, back on the track of cosplays you've done, what's that one cosplay? It was a one and done cosplay, whether a friend asked you to do it, you wanted to do, or it was just kind of like it's kind of that cosplay that's just you're not a big fan, you just never wanted to cosplay them again afterwards.
I was not a huge fan of doing. I'm gonna get hate for it, but I was not a huge fan for cosplaying anything My Hero Academia. I like the show. It's like my grandma's absolute favorite show. I love it too. It's great, but I don't like cosplaying from it.
There's nothing wrong with that. No hate,
and
everybody. Don't gatekeeping.
Yeah, and it's like, there's nothing wrong with I did not find any entertainment. I was Todoroki, I've tried Deku, I've tried Bakugo. I don't have pictures of any of them because I didn't like it,
Okay, well, never mind on that then. I'll just put pictures of the characters you're talking about.
Yeah, no. The only thing that you would find, like, I'd be able to give you is like Todoroki, where I've done casual.
Okay, so I'll write Todoroki down since you said you'd have a picture of that.
Yes. But the others, it's just if I put a costume on at home and I don't like how it feels, I'm not going to wear it to a con.
You basically test it and see if
Yes.
see if it's something you like.
I recommend that, honestly. I have made my partners do it. I've probably made them sick of doing it, but I'm like, trust me, if you cannot stand wearing this costume a day, like just at the mall or shopping at Walmart,
break it in basically before you actually,
if you cannot stand wearing that costume for one day, you will not be able to wear it at a convention.
And sometimes comfortability is more important than the look of a character.
Yeah. And I mean, I know some people like, okay, the armor, I did not make him wear his armor around because that's going to be uncomfortable, but that's his decision. He knows going into it, it's going to be bulky, it's going to be a pain. As long as he knows that going in, then it shouldn't be a problem,
No, I wholeheartedly agree on that. So next question, what has been your all-time favorite cosplay? Like, it's a cosplay, no matter what, you always enjoy cosplaying them, whether it's at a con or just for the hell of it.
Blossom. Actually, both versions. I have done one that we made from home, our punk versions. That is my absolute favorite.
So Punk Blossom.
Yes. We worked very hard. We bought vests, like sleeveless vests that had like the little ribbed sleeves.
I have seen Punk Powerpuff Girls done before.
And we just covered them with patches and just LED lights, and
nice.
We went crazy with it, and I had a lot of fun. And that was actually when we met our Rowdy Rough boys for the first time. And we had this big group, and it was so fun. And I just love being Blossom. I will be her anytime someone asks, or if I've got a free space, I will be Blossom.
Nice. That's really cool. So what's been, and this is a question I somehow always forget to ask, what's been your biggest project cosplay, like between either by yourself or between the three of you?
Honestly, I think the Powerpuff Girls were, because we myself, I had a small prop. I had a little yo-yo because we did Powerpuff Girls Z, So it's the anime version.
We don't talk about that one. All
Well,
right.
we did that.
Not judging,
And
but it was a very short-lived anime and an attempt at an anime that
it
did not
was.
last long.
I
Powerpuff Girls Z. I have never watched the show, but I've heard it did not do well.
I will admit the show is really cringe. I just prefer the outfits. The outfits are super
Oh
cute.
no, no, the outfits are
I
the outfits are really
you
well
know
done.
yeah, the outfits and the weapons. I love that. And I will not give that show credit where credit is not due. It is not, it is very cringe. Um, I am still struggling to get through season one.
So, for anyone wondering if anyone's not familiar with Powerpuff Girls Z, it was a short-lived cartoon in Japan. I think on Cartoon Network where they had an English dub version, but
Yeah.
this is what they look like.
Yep. That's
I mean,
them.
the outfits are well made, but again, it was a short. Just stop making Powerpuff Girls adaptations. The original is good. I'm not trying to sound like one of
Yeah.
those. I'm not trying to sound like one of those millennials who say you ruined my childhood, but
No, but seriously, I am also I'm probably one of those. I absolutely hate reboots and stuff like that. Personal preference, but the weapons, I thought, you know what? The weapons, the outfits, they're cute.
oh no, no,
So we
the
made
weapons look give me a minute. I actually find the weapons here.
yeah.
Yeah, but give me a minute. I can find it. I'm gonna show people a bigger version of it though. Give me a minute. Oh, here we go. Here is their weapons.
Yep.
There's a staff, a giant hammer, and you can't really see. I'll show up closer, but you can see Blossom's yo-yo.
Yeah. And my yo-yo doubles actually. On one side it's Blossom's yo-yo, and then I can flip it over and it's Ladybug's yo-yo. So I've got a
Uh,
2-in-1 prop.
oh, so wait, Ladybug from the Miraculous Ladybug?
Yep.
Nice. So you done a Ladybug cosplay too?
Not yet. It's in the works.
Oh, it's a future cosplay, as I call it.
Yeah, we've only done casual Ladybug so far, but
All
it is
right,
definitely in the works.
casual. Nice. So another question I like to ask. So have you ever, guys, have any of you or your partners ever entered? Because it's a question I think I'm going to actually start asking now more often. Have you and your partners ever entered any cosplay contests?
I have, they have not.
Who?
KomoriCon, this KomoriCon 22 was their second con. Well,
Nice.
third. Sorry, it was their second KomoriCon, and then they went to SakuraCon. And oh my goodness, hold on, they've actually been to more than that because they went to ColossalCon too. It's only their second year cosplaying, so they're still kind of working into it. I did my first year and I get terrible stage fright and I never did it again.
What was the cosplay that you submitted for the cosplay contest?
So it was only my second year, third year maybe of SakuraCon. I was the skit was about Full Metal, and my friend was Roy, and I was Ed, but I was supposed to be in a mini skirt, and all I had on hand was Kagome from Inuyasha. So I had my Kagome outfit and just the Ed jacket over it with his wig, and nobody had any idea what I was trying to do.
Gome/Edward cosplay. Sure. And there's nothing. I guess also advice for those who are wanting to consider on entering their first cosplay contest.
Practice. Definitely practice. My friend and I did not practice enough, and we did not record our audio at home. I think we just didn't know how, or whatever the reason. We came to SakuraCon and they had a little session where you could pre-record. You just here speak. So we had no timing, we had no cues, no nothing. And you can tell that, like, if I was to go dig deep in the depths of YouTube and find that video, you can tell.
Would
She
if you
says a
find
comment.
wait
Pardon?
go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, she says her line and she calls me short and I'm supposed to react. I reacted way too early because in the recording booth, I was too afraid to yell because we were in a room full of other cosplayers and I was afraid to yell at full Edward potential. But up on stage, I was ready. I was a little too ready, and I went way too early, and I grabbed onto her shirt, and I realized, I missed the audio, and I put my head down, and then you could hear me yelling over the thing, and I shot up, and it was nope. I was like, nope, never again. I'm never doing this again. This was so bad.
I mean, that's good advice. So, definitely prepare for sure. And
Definitely. I'm trying to work my partners into like maybe doing the lip sync or some sort of contest in the future because I'm trying to get out
those
of that.
those
Like
those are
it's okay.
that's a good way to ease them into contests because you don't really have to fully prepare like you do for a cosplay skit.
Right, exactly. The skit, you have to make sure you know all the lines and all the cues, and just depending on how long it is, what exactly it is. At least the lip sync, all you got to know is the song,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
no, definitely. Cosplay crunching. For cons, have you had to deal with any con crunch cosplays?
Yeah. I like here recently, not really, because as I said, we've got a system going on. Um, if we kind of don't follow that system, or if I work too much, or one of them works too much, then we kind of get in con crunch mode, but it's nothing like it used to be. It used to be like I could be working up until the day of. One year for Anime Expo, we were so con crunch that my friend at the time was like, here, we leave tomorrow morning on a flight at 6 a.m. We have to be at the airport at 4. Can you make this? And I was like, oh my gosh. It was so easy. So it wasn't like it was some big extravagant thing. We were doing oh my gosh, at the time the Onceler was from the Lorax was like the big thing on Tumblr, and everyone had a blog, you know, this type of Onceler, this type of Onceler, and she wanted me to make these two, and I was like, I did it, but oh my goodness, that was the biggest con crunch I've ever had.
Oof.
Yeah.
Advice for con crunch, and if they know they can't finish their cosplay, would you recommend they do something casual or bring a spare cosplay just in case?
Well, if the costume is doable without certain parts, do it. You worked hard on it. You should showcase what you have. Um, if you absolutely cannot go without that one piece you didn't get done, go casual because do as much of it as you can. You know, I don't know. It would depend on the cosplay. If you're doing something, all I have up in my room is references My Hero and Fruits Basket stuff, so it's not helping. But if you've got like Bakugo and you don't have his gauntlets, you didn't get his gauntlets done, don't stress. Everyone's going to love the outfit that you have. You don't have to have the gauntlets to complete the look. If you don't have the costume, you can go casual Bakugo and you got the gauntlets done. Okay, fine. You can still carry those around. Um, don't stress so much on it. That's my advice. Con crunch happens to everybody.
Oh yeah.
No matter how hard you try, you will con crunch at least a little bit. You know, don't stress. Don't let it ruin all your work. Show off what you can. And if you can't, then yeah, bring a backup cosplay. That's never a bad thing. And just look at it as it just wasn't meant to showcase at this con. I need an extra little bit of time and I'm going to showcase it at this con, and it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be done, you know.
Okay, that works. In my opinion, that works. So what answer thinking brain work. I always forget the. Oh yeah. Um, cosplay miss. Shut up, Facebook. Cosplay mishaps. Have you ever had a cosplay mishap where like a wig, prop, something ripped, torn, fell, just did not work, and yeah.
Um, not in a big way. I've had wigs fall off, being too dramatic, throwing my head back and like, oh my gosh, um, having it fall off during a dance or something like that. But not really. I'm not much of a prop person, so only here recently have I really gotten into like I wouldn't say I've gotten into it. I've just kind of done it for my partner's benefits. I don't like carrying things. I'm lazy. I put enough work into the costume. I don't want to carry a prop, so I don't have to worry about props breaking. Um, But my partner was Buttercup, and his hammer started to break halfway through the con, and we had to be super, super careful because it was
Ooh.
just, if you put too much pressure on it, it was falling. Always bring a cosplay repair kit of your own. Um, that's another recommendation from me. Whether it's just sewing needles, thread, glue gun, glue sticks, I don't care what anyone says, glue gun and glue sticks are your best friends. Um, and it helps because when it was starting to fall apart, we were like, okay, hey, lunchtime, let's go back to the room, let's have lunch. And we just hot glued the heck out of it, and it lasted the rest of the con.
What was the hammer made from, if you can remember?
So actually he got those little like buckets of popcorn you can get around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
He got two of those. He got a hot chocolate can, an empty one, and stuck that for the middle piece. And then he just got one of those thicker pieces of the wood. I don't know what they're called.
Wood
I
stick
don't do
things?
the stick. You can find them at Walmart in the craft section, but it's just the biggest size stick that they had, and then the rest of it was just made from like little bits of clay and stuff, craft
Nice.
foam, paint. But yeah,
Very nice. That's really cool.
yeah. I mean, it was definitely a creative way to do it. I was thinking way more complicated way to do it, and he was just like, "Why can't I just use this?" I guess you can. Nobody says you can't.
Oh no, I mean, again, if you don't want to go like, and there's nothing wrong with doing something simple like that. Um,
Oh yeah, no, you do what you can. That is like the quote I live by. You do what you can with what you got.
oh no, I that words to live by for sure. So another question I was asking, and this is probably my all-time favorite question for those who are familiar with this, cosplay and convention horror stories. It's an experience that just like made you go like, what the hell did that just actually happen? Or was just a weird thing at a convention?
Does myself being weird count?
No, we don't count that.
Uh, Actually, I haven't had too bad of a time with con. A lot of my con horror stories, they're not necessarily con because it happened like, oh, we have to walk to the McDonald's and there's some weirdo going to the bathroom on the sidewalk. What the heck? And
That's normal.
that kind of stuff. But that's just kind of, you chalk that up to Seattle. That's Seattle. That's not Sakura Con. I I haven't had. I don't think I've actually had. I've had con drama.
Well, okay, so I get, yeah, what kind of con drama have you had?
Friends not liking other friends and having to be the middle person, kind of thing. Them being like, "Hey, so and so did this," and they're being really mean. And like, oh my gosh, can we just have fun? This is supposed to be a con. We're supposed to all get along, have fun. You go do that panel. You go do that panel. I'll check on you guys later.
Basically, you had to be the con dad.
Yeah, essentially, yes. um, but yeah, otherwise, no. Our cons are usually actually pretty good. It's a little boring when you think about it that way because it's like I don't have those cool horror stories to tell and be like,
Yeah,
oh
and
my
that's
goodness.
that's 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 okay. So, fun convention experiences, like it's something to this day you'll never forget that happened that you just like was the best moment ever at a con.
You know what? Meeting I consider him to be my cosplay idol. I'm gonna have to get back to you on his name, his Instagram handle. Um, and it's Christopher something. But anyways, he cosplays as the most amazing Mojo Jojo ever. And he is the best. We got the chance. I met him one of my first Sakura cons, and he just blew me away with how amazing his cosplay was, how in character, which by the way, you don't always have to be in character. Um, but he was just stellar. It was like they took Mojo from the TV and just plopped him right there in front of me. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then when we were arranging with our Rowdy Roughs to meet up with them at SakuraCon, and we actually got to have a fun video and photo shoot done with him, and it was like a dream come true. It was just the most wonderful time I've had at a convention being with him, and it was like it's so cool. And he was so chill and so like awesome. And I told him, I was like, you are amazing. You just made my Sakura-con. And he was just so cool about it,
Nice.
you
Nice.
know?
Very nice. So, next question I always ask, future cosplays. What are cosplays you're currently working on and cosplays that you are wanting to do?
Currently we are working on we're kind of taking a tiny break from cosplaying. We're focusing on like a Kigu run.
Yes.
We're gonna do Miraculous. We're gonna do the Kwamis from
Who
Miraculous. We're going to do Pokemon, Digimon, fun Kigus. And then our big build is going to be next 2023 Kumo. So this Kumo. I don't know. Well, it's a PG-13, so anybody watching it who shouldn't be watching it, shame on you. But if you know what Hell of a Boss is, it's a really good show.
you're doing the imps.
Well, we have done the imps. Actually, we're going to be doing Fizzaroli, Osmodius, and Verosica. So we're doing like a bit, and we're doing big builds. So that's like, okay, we need a Kigu break so we can focus on those big builds.
I love Hell of a Boss. And I've seen a lot of Hell of a Boss cosplays, and it's just like they're so well done.
Oh yeah, we had a blast doing it at Sakura-con last year.
Oh, so you guys
Um,
have so I gotta ask, who was Blitz? So who was Moxie and who was Millie?
I was Blitz. Um, they were not actually there. They are planning to do Moxie and Millie. But I was Cowboy Blitz, and
Oh, from the cowboy episode.
yes, and from that episode, boyfriend was Striker, and girlfriend was Stolas. Our son, who does not watch it, he's only seen a little bit of it. But
Shame
our
on
son wants
you.
to really be Moxie, so he's going to be our Moxie with us at KomoriCon next year.
Hell of a Boss. Uh, Kumo. Nice. I can't wait to see that because I'll be definitely attending Kumo, so I'll definitely have to get a hold of you guys and do an in-person convention interview about it if you're interested.
Yeah, totally, definitely.
I was just say for the
It'll be
2020.
the next year. My
I mean,
our son's birthday is that weekend, so
nice. Hey, that's always fun.
it was my birthday this last Kumo, and it's going to be his birthday this Kumo. So
Yeah, I missed this Kumo. It was around my birthday as well. I was like, damn it. Well,
oh wow,
there's always next year.
yeah,
Um, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Like I've yet to see a Hell of a Boss is probably one of my favorite shows. So
oh
I have
yeah,
to
same.
I have to like make sure to keep an eye out for you guys. It's just as long as there's not 20 or 30 other Hell of a Boss characters.
It shouldn't be too bad. There was actually quite a few this year, but yeah, it shouldn't
Oh,
be too bad.
I wholeheartedly believe it. So next question. Advice in general for cosplayers out there, whether it be trans cosplayers who are wanting to get into conventions, cosplay, stuff like that. Just advice in general you want to throw out there.
The main advice that I can give you is just be you. Do what you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you. The very first time that I was actual like cosplay, I cosplayed as Vocaloid, Rin Kagamine.
Oh, okay, so that was your next cosplay after Red Eyes?
Yes, that was like the first official like I went all out on her.
Who was it?
Rin,
Oh,
Rin.
the twin, the blonde
Yeah,
twins.
one of the twins. Yes. Um, I was friends with somebody at the time though who made me feel very much like I should not have been cosplaying her. Um, he was much taller, much slimmer. I was and still am on the chunky side.
No
I am
gatekeeping,
proud of
and
that.
also cosplay does not equal consent.
Exactly. He told me before the con that I needed to work out more and eat better because there's no way we were going to pass off as twins with me being as large as I was. And I looked at him and I said, nobody's going to think we're twins. You're 6 foot. I'm 5 foot. You got a whole foot on me, you know?
Idiot.
We're not twins. But it really hurt my self-conscious, and I did not feel comfortable wearing her. Um, but I had fun. I went and I still had fun and all that. But that year it was just not good. And there was a video that had got thrown up on YouTube of a bunch of us dancing. Um, and a lot of the YouTube comments were pretty bad towards me and a couple of the other
Yeah,
plus size cosplayers. You know?
the way I see it, it's just the way I see it, if you're gonna do that, it just shows you're too much of a chicken shit, and to you're basically hiding
Yeah.
behind it. You're basically to put it in to quote my favorite line in my favorite video game, you're just a bitch with a keyboard.
Yeah. And it's true. And don't do like me. Don't let that stop you. It stopped me from cosplaying as so many. I wanted to be Dark Magician Girl. I wanted to be Sailor Moon.
Ooh.
I had so many cosplays I wanted to do, but I did not feel that I could because I thought everyone was going to laugh at me. Everyone was going to think I was just too plus size to be them. Well, now we didn't do the group, unfortunately, which sucks because it would have been a great reference here. But we were with a group of cosplayers and we were supposed to do a Sailor Moon plus size. It was like all
Ooh.
inclusive.
That would
We
have been
had
cool to
this,
see.
it would have been. Instead, we did Eevee, which I can show you our evolution group.
Oh, please
We
do.
did lingerie. Most of
Ooh.
us were robes, but there were some lingerie. But we had anyone as small as my boyfriend to as large as me, and we had all throughout mixed and mingled, and we were just like, look,
I love evolution cosplays, whether they're the Kigus, they're
yeah,
fancy
it
versions.
you can do so much with them, and that it's a shame that it only happened this year, but that was a big confidence booster. I was like, you know what? I got stopped a lot of times. I was Vaporeon myself. Um, my girlfriend was Espeon, and Lex was Sylveon.
Nice.
You know, and we were it was a great confidence booster. And a lot of people were like, wow, I love your costumes. It's like, really? Wow, okay, thanks. And don't let it stop you. Don't let any hurtful, mean comments or your own um self-consciousness stop you from doing what you want to do. You want to be a character, do it.
No matter
You do
your
not have to modify that cosplay to fit your body.
no matter your
You do it.
age, weight, height, sexual orientation, whatever. I will say though, I would if you're under the age of 18, I would highly recommend being careful cosplaying certain characters in anime
Yes.
because
Yes. I mean, there are certain things where it's kind of like, okay, that's a given. Don't do something too risque if you are a minor, because not a lot of people pay attention to that. Not a lot of people stop and ask how old you are before they're like, oh, you're cosplaying from Hell of a Boss. That means I can be like flirty, not, no touching because
mm,
cosplay is not consent. We know this. But if a character like Stolas sees a character like Blitz and they come up and they're just like, ooh, Blitz, and they're being Stolas with you, they're not going to know that you're a minor. You have to express that. You have to tell them, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. I like the show, but let's keep it PG here. Um, because I've met my fair share of some interesting people. I mean, I wouldn't say that anything bad to them because I had fun. Um, but some people stay in character and they are in character. Um, and sometimes age can get in the way of that. They don't always stop to think, I could be dealing with a minor right now. They're just thinking, you are a character that matches my character. We're just going to have fun and bond over our characters being them you know
oh
but do watch out for that.
oh no, I wholeheartedly agree. Anything else you like to add in before we end this podcast?
um no, not really. I mean, like I said before, go for it. Do you want to go to that big con? Go for it. Save up your money, go do it. You want to do that big expensive build that you've wanted to do it. You want to do that basic cosplay, do it. Does not matter. You do what you want to do. You have fun. You have an amazing time and you just rock it. That's what the cosplay community is all about, is you being you, you having fun and making friends. We're all supposed to be nice, one big happy family. For the most part, we are. there are a couple jerks, just like every family. You have a couple of sticks in the mud.
Yeah.
You're not going to get away from that,
No,
you know?
I wholeheartedly agree on that. I
Yeah.
think that should do it again, Jason. Man, thank you for coming on. Looking forward to seeing your cosplays and your partners and your kids cosplay
Yeah.
for the 2023, con season. Again, thank you, and also, shout out to your if you don't if it's okay, want to give a shout out to your partners?
Yeah, sure. We all share the same Instagram. Alex is my boyfriend, and he's our resident Buttercup, and Brandy is our girlfriend, and she is our resident Bubbles. Um, our son is Ruben. He's a little cutie. His first con was this year. Um,
Aw.
very first con, and he was a little overwhelmed, but he had a blast, and he can't wait to go next year.
Oh, I'll bet.
So yeah.
Also, and words of my friend, do you want to drop your pluggables? Basically, it's another word for your links so people can check you out, check your cosplay, stuff like that, if you have any to share.
Yeah, all of our cosplays can be found. I mean, uh, they can be found on Facebook on mine. But mostly we put our cosplay up on the Instagram, which is Jaybirds Flock, JAYBIRDSFLOCK.
Oh, I found you
Because
guys.
because we're all birds.
And just to show people real quick, I will be putting a link in the description below.
Yep,
I just
there
followed
we
you guys.
go.
You just have a new follower too.
Yep, I just saw that.
No.
Thank you.
Oh, I see her. Okay, oh, I love your Stolas. A picture with
She
you.
will be happy to hear that. I will let her know. We
Oh.
have not gotten around to putting up KomoriCon stuff yet. I'm not even, well, we have some photos of KomoriCon, but it was so busy
No,
trying to show Ruben around, you know.
this is one from July.
July might have been Colossal Con.
Yeah, it's your cowboy Stolas.
Oh yeah. Okay, it was from Soccer Con, but
Yep,
it
the grip
was
you're
like
talking. Yeah,
we don't
it's okay.
yeah, we don't have a whole lot of content, so I was trying to release it slowly.
Makes sense. Well, again, I think that should do it again. Jason, thank you for coming on to Cosplay Con Talks, get to know that cosplayer.
Well, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
You're very welcome. And as always, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you for watching.